All right, good evening, guys. Hope everyone's having a great night. Sorry, guys, for the later live. None of my streaming would work. I had to reconnect everything. But we've got a London session live for everybody. I hope you guys are doing good. Who made money off shorting the market this morning? I know the market has been kind of all over the place, guys, but we're going to go into Bitcoin here. I didn't really look at trades too much today. I didn't call any shorts. I didn't call any longs. I needed a fresh, clear mindset, I guess, so to speak. And essentially, that is what we're looking at. We got a fresh, clear mindset. So, CJDV, how are we doing? Did you short this morning? Take profit and stop loss levels. Can also give you images on TradingView. Yeah, for sure. Good afternoon, good evening. Just Josh and I appreciate you. So I am in a short at the moment, guys, because we can see Bitcoin did break trend. All right, so Bitcoin broke trend right here. We had a little bit of a rising wedge. We're kind of ranging on the 15-minute overbought. And you can see we've got some bearish divergence here as well too. 1 hour is overbought. 4 hours kind of overbought, but at the same time, we're just ranging, right? So if you look at the daily is looking good, like it might go up. But if you're looking at your lower time frames, we did pump. We are into London here, and we are completely overbought. Just like right here. So the big thing, guys, is when we were looking at the market this morning, I told you guys I didn't know where the market was going. All I really had to do was look at my trend. We pumped. We formed around a top. This market is, I'm not saying the market is messing with a lot of people, but being an influencer, being a crypto influencer, being, I guess, a voice for you guys on how to make money, sometimes I overlook the fact that we broke trend. We had a real nice rounded top, and then we came down. All right, so now we are essentially looking at Bitcoin dropping down to here or a lot lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys my new daily trend here. So obviously in London, where we might range a bit, we might pump a bit. We'll have to see. But for the most part here, you can see Bitcoin is below the conversion line, which means right here, guys, it's where we were rejecting the conversion line on the daily. So we can see Bitcoin rejecting the conversion line on the daily. We can see we're forming a lower high. All right. And on top of that, you're looking at rolling over to about 66 or 67K in the market. So we're going to have to see what London does, or I mean what New York does. But that is essentially what we're looking at. We're looking at it rolling over off this rounded top. We pretty much pumped into Tokyo, and then we broke that 5 minutes. So we're just waiting for this 5 minute trend to catch up. All right. So thank you guys for joining the London session live. Morgan, how you doing? Ascending triangle on Bitcoin on the 15-minute. Yeah, pretty much, right? So I am short right here, all the way down to about 66 or even 57K at the moment. All right. But the clear telltale sign that we were going to drop here on Bitcoin in the morning was the fact that we were rejecting the conversion line. Sometimes it is hard to see that. And when we do the training with you guys, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. But the conversion line on the daily, this is key resistance right here. C Bronco, how you doing? Thank you for coming on the live. There's not much really to talk about, guys. We just want to see what London is going to do. I did start the live a bit later today because I couldn't get any of my streaming software connecting. I don't even think we're live on Rumble. I know we're live on Twitch and YouTube, hopefully X, but we had to get the live going there before London opened, all right? So I'm also going to look at XRP. The XRP short ended up playing out. I got out of it. Like I said, this market has just been all over the place. Like, you know, you broke out on XRP and still you're going sideways. So it doesn't really matter. All you're doing is ranging in this crazy market. Right here, you can even see XRP dropping all the way back down to the bottom, which was our target. And now I would potentially say off of this pump, XRP is going to drop, but I would say this is going to range. This is more trading in the middle. I like trading Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin is the safest play. A lot of altcoins are bouncing up and they're just kind of ranging. I would say Bitcoin is definitely the safest play in the market. All you're doing is really setting a resistance line right here at about, 77.8, or what is this, 76.8, 76.9. And then you're essentially going to see, in my personal opinion, Bitcoin roll over into London because we did break the trend. So we'll have to see what happens. CJDV, how you doing? Olga, good morning. How is everyone feeling with the crypto market, guys? I'm going to have to make some key changes with this YouTube channel. Just doing these crypto lives, they're going to get more boring and boring because there's not going to be much momentum because Bitcoin's dropping so much. But I do have some ideas. Let me get back to the drawing board, and I'm going to teach you guys how to get funded accounts, prop firm accounts, and all of that stuff, right? So we're kind of just waiting for this 1 hour to be overbought. You're forming a lower high. You're at support right here. If we look on our liquidity gaps right here, guys, 2 on Bitcoin. Winning Wave, how you doing? Thank you for coming on the live. Appreciate you. So we essentially need to stay below 76.8 is what we're looking at. Right now, we can see these are liquidity gaps. We got kind of a sideways channel forming here. 76.867 is where my resistance would be. Olga, you're in a long from 73.1. I would set a stop loss and profit. You can see the liquidity gap right here from this big drop. Keep in mind, we're in a downtrend, right? So I wouldn't go against your downtrend. Big thing here is the trend is your friend. And over, guys, I keep telling myself I won't go against the downtrend. I will not long this market anymore because even if we come up all the way to 80K, I'm just not doing it. I'm going to only look for shorts. There was a perfect breakout on Bitcoin and a perfect pennant this morning, and we were oversold in the 1 hour, and we just completely dumped because we're in a bear market, right? So my stop loss would be here. So if I have a trailing stop, if I'm in a long, actually, no, my stop loss would be really here, probably about 75K. I would set my trailing stop loss to about 75K on Bitcoin. All right. Because again, we formed another rounded top, guys. And I know London might be semi-bullish on Bitcoin, but the reality is we did just break this uptrend right here, right? So we do have bullish divergence in the market right now, but that is most likely going to be invalidated. Here's our target around 72.9. I say we come all the way back down to 67 and possibly a lot lower. But the bottom of the channel, whatever the bottom of the channel is going to be here on the daily, is where I'm expecting Bitcoin to go to. I want to see if Ethereum ends up bouncing off the channel on the daily. I think we did. So yeah, Ethereum, same thing, double top, would take us all the way down to $2,000. You got a huge rounded bottom, but it keeps on dropping. Here's some Ethereum TA for you guys. So basically, we take this from right here to right here. You're bouncing off your 618. If you lose your 618 range on ETH, you come all the way back down to here. So I am short on Bitcoin at the moment, guys. We had a really nice breakout right here of the downtrend. Now we are going sideways on this rounded top. Triple top, really. Of course, Tokyo did nothing. Winning wave, you entered a Solana long. So at 93, I would say Solana is going to dump. I know you've got a real nice triple bottom here. But it looks to me that Solana's probably going to continue to drop. I would say set a stop loss at about $95 on Sol. Yeah, I don't see Solana holding. Kind of going again with the trend is your friend here. You can see Solana's pretty much almost into the 3-day at the bottom of the RSI. That would take Solana all the way to about really to about $70, right? Sol already did break support right here. So now whatever Bitcoin's going to do, Solana will follow. All right, London is open, guys, okay? So the question is London going to range? I don't necessarily see London pumping a lot, but London could just range, right? We pumped off that uptrend right here. We're going sideways. We broke it. We're looking to come down. If for whatever London breaks out off of a fake out, you're looking at this top being the resistance right here. Look, another bullish pennant, right? And this is what I mean, guys. They're going to get you. The bullish pennant is written in your face here. On the 5-minute. I guess, on lower time frames. But we've got that rounded top. We've got that double top, which would take us to about 72.5. But I would ultimately see Bitcoin come all the way down to 66. I don't know if we hit 66 into London. I know we definitely double bottom right here. Around 72.9. Do we continue off that double bottom or do we bounce? I would say we come down, right? 30 minutes overbought, 1 hour is overbought, 4 hours very, very bearish. It looks like we are going to drop into New York or continue to drop into New York for sure. All right, and we did look at Solana right here. So I could see Sol coming down here too. There we go. So Solana's dropping as well here too, because remember, you broke that uptrend, right? So into a session, you were ranging and you broke a trend to the downside, which is like a rising wedge, right? And that rising wedge should take you all the way down to whatever, $70 on Sol. Let's look at our liquidity gaps here in Solana. So if we look at Solana, guys, there's not much support left of anything right here. Not really. We got this wick right here, but you can see Sol. If we break here, Sol's going to come down to about $79, $80. Professor Carter, how you doing? Nice seeing you on the live, fam. Do you think we close the 84 CME gap or do we continue lower? Continue lower. Continue lower for sure. But I do see what you're saying. So I would say we come down to about 67, 66K. And then push up to that 85 area, 84. Because we did break the conversion line right here. So keep in mind the conversion line is 100% broken, which means that this macro channel would have to play out. Now, I would be very, very cautious down here long or shorting, because usually you're going to get a reversal in the shorter term. But I see us pushing down to that 66K target that we've been looking at for a couple of days. Bitcoin looked like it wanted to push up to 86 today, guys. Like in a New York session, I would typically say Bitcoin was ready to pump up to 86 today. But the reality is we are in a downtrend market. And there is nothing at this point that is going to pump the market. We might get a little retrace in the shorter term, right? I could possibly see London ranging a bit. So smash that like button if you guys have not. I appreciate everybody for joining the live today. We do have a little fair value gap here, guys. That fair value gap does put you around 75.2 to about 76.1. So we might range a bit before we drop into London. But I would say New York is definitely going to take us down. All right, let's take a look at Hype and see what Hype is doing. Look at Hype, guys. Major bearish dive on Hype. Major bearish divergence on Hype. Hype breaks this conversion line, guys. Hype is going to drop quite a bit. I'm not even talking about the trend. I'm talking the conversion line here on Hype. So we have a conversion line right here, 30 bucks. If we end up breaking this, this is your support. And this is also your resistance. You end up breaking this right here, you come all the way down to here. About 24.96. I would definitely be setting an alert here on Hype all day for sure. Wednesdays always have a possibility of showing a reversal. Yeah, of course. It is really good to be careful. We dumped a lot. And typically, guys, typically this 4 hour cannot be this oversold. Like typically when we're this oversold, I get it, we're bearish, but normally we go back to the top of the RSI after. Fast Easy, good evening. How you doing, brother? It just, you're looking at the bottom of the channel. That would be 66K. At this point, the conversion line, you're looking at about 66K on Bitcoin before a reversal, if there is one. Maybe a wick down to 57K. But we are definitely in a major bear market, guys. And honestly, I would only be looking for shorts, not longs. And I would not be trading altcoins. I would just be trading Bitcoin. Altcoins are flat. Bitcoin is the only. And you're going to notice, guys, altcoins are going to stay flat even when Bitcoin drops because things have dropped so much. Like XRP broke out, rounded bottom all day. This would typically be a long for me, right? But the reality is we are in a downtrend market. So it's really tough to long when we are in a downtrend market. Look at that candle right there. Dropped all the way down to 152, back up to 163. And I believe total 3, look at total 3. Total 3 broke out. So total 3 broke out and is going sideways at the moment. You can see that right here too with total 3 breaking out. This is typically a very bullish sign for altcoins. However, you're completely overbought and you're just breaking out sideways. So the fact that you're breaking out sideways, the market, this is actually one thing to notice. We dropped a lot on Bitcoin and we dropped a lot on total 3, but we never actually became oversold on the 4-hour time frame. So I'm still expecting total 3 to drop all the way down to 667 billion in that region. And same thing if you look right here, guys, on the 4-hour, we dropped all the way back down to about 73K, 72K, but Bitcoin has been remaining overbought on the 4-hour time frame. That is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Thoughts on silver, XAG? Could look at XAG for sure. So silver is still below the trend line here. I'm still 100% on my silver long until it breaks this downtrend. I mean my silver short until it breaks this downtrend. So essentially here silver is looking to break out. You're looking at silver breaking this trend line back above, but to be honest, I would be short on silver right here. If we break back above, we go long, right? If we break back above, silver is definitely going to pump. Yeah. But if I look at the 4-hour time frame, actually, I think I just said I'd be short. I wouldn't be trading silver until it breaks out. I would not be short. Forget what I said. Nope, would not be short on silver. I'd be long on silver if it breaks that area because it looks like silver is about to break out. So scratch what I said about shorting. Don't short. I wouldn't long either, though. I would wait until it breaks out of this little peak of downtrend. And then it's going to push back up. You got to keep in mind, silver did break the 4-hour RSI, which is very bullish. Your MACD cross you crossed on the MACD too. So keep an eye on silver. I'm going to set an alert right here on silver too. All right, what is Bitcoin doing? Ranging? Yep, ranging. Nothing is happening on BTC. So you're just really seeing Bitcoin range because nobody's really bullish on Bitcoin right now. So we're going to wick to this area right here. And then you're looking at coming back down. But I would be very surprised if London ended up pumping it. I would see us continuing to the downside, maybe double bottoming right here, something like that. Hit that like button, guys. Are you short or long on crypto right now? No problem, no problem. Professor Carter, I'll have to look into that. Winning Wave, how you doing? Yeah, so Bitcoin is really just going to range, guys. Range sideways until the New York session. And then New York, watch what Bitcoin does into New York. That is going to be fun. That is going to be fireworks. You're long, okay, not bad, right? Just make sure if you're long, this is kind of the channel that you're playing. I'm personally holding my short. We'll see what happens. If we end up breaking out, we end up breaking out. But I am never longing again until we break out of the macro. I've missed out on too much opportunity because I look at a breakout and it's just a fake out. So personally for me, you guys are not going to see me call any more longs in this market until we break out of the downtrend. I might long altcoins, but definitely not Bitcoin. There's no way. Way too much opportunity. I'm chasing the breakout when we're not even breaking out. We're just going sideways. Can we look at gold? For sure. I've probably missed out on $100,000 just from trying to go long, which is absolutely crazy, but it is what it is. I didn't lose my longs, but I just flipped to a short, but I would have got better position, right? So, all right. So here we can see gold did definitely break out. So we for sure got a breakout on gold. And now you're looking at gold pretty much pumping back to the top. I think my biggest thing, guys, at the moment being a crypto influencer is really paying attention to what I think. Sometimes I listen to what people say and I try to, base my TA off of what people say. And then I look and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But it's been messing me up pretty bad. I'm not saying, yeah, I just, I won't be shorting this. I won't be longing this market at all. Until Bitcoin breaks out of 86, that is when I'm longing. Until then, I'm only shorting the tops and looking for the tops, which was pretty much my thing before, but it's really hard as a crypto influencer, guys. You're so influenced by other people. Very, very hard. What time frame you use for confirmation of the parallel channel for entry? 4 hour, 1 hour, it's all the same thing. It depends where you put your channel on. What do you think Bitcoin will do into New York? Crash and burn at this point, because we already broke the uptrend, right? Yeah. So gold is in a little bit of a downtrend here, guys, but we broke out. So if we break this area here on gold, we pump to the top. Keep in mind, gold ended up bouncing off of this macro trend line right here. And you broke the conversion line. So this would actually be a good long for me on, well, the long would have been right here on gold, but I say we continue to the upside to about 5,600. 5,600, guys, on gold is where I'd be looking for. Double topping there. Huge pump coming on gold. Huge pump. As long as we hold that conversion line. And if we look at the NASDAQ, the NDX, we're obviously coming back up here a bit in the shorter term. But yeah, the NASDAQ is looking very, very bearish. But yeah, fast, easy. You're looking at the small. So for example, right, I've got a channel here on Bitcoin on the macro. We broke this uptrend, so I'm redrawing my channel to right here. Okay. Here is another channel I have in the shorter term. And this is just a little pump, dump, whatever, little sideways channel. So essentially my stop loss is going to be above the parallel channel. And then I'm seeing Bitcoin break right here. And if Bitcoin breaks this little sideways range, we're coming back down. Then I've got another channel. Okay. Then I've got another channel right here. And this is my longer term channel, guys. And this channel right here, I'm basically waiting for this to do whatever, break on that 4 hour. It have to break that 4 hour. I'm only looking for 4 hour breaks now. So if I'm looking for a long, it has to break that 4 hour, which essentially would be right here. Okay. That would have to break right here and we'd have to be pumping essentially. But my 4 hour channel right here that I did have drawn, down, down, down. If we break this to the downside, we come all the way down to here. Otherwise, we go back up to here. Or we just completely break the channel and start dumping all the way down to 57K or lower. That's a possibility as well, too. Tony Gold, how you doing? Thank you for coming on the live. The problem at the moment, well, it's not really a problem if you're shorting. The thing at the moment, guys, is that I can't say this enough. We're in a downtrend, at least on Bitcoin. I will say this, though. Stacks has been looking fire. Really, really, really good here on STX. If we could break this high, Stacks is looking amazing. So you're pretty much bouncing off the 382. What would be the new entry for an XRP short? I wouldn't be playing XRP until we break that channel. The problem with XRP at the moment is it's going to range, and I don't have – it's in the middle right now. So I would not be playing XRP. I'll go over XRP, but it just isn't looking like a good short. Of course, it's going to drop with Bitcoin, but I would need it to pump back to the top or break that area right there. So guys, if I think I mentioned this earlier in the live, good morning, Michael, or good evening. We have resistance at our 200 SMA on Stacks right here, about 33. If we end up breaking this right here, because keep in mind, we broke that downtrend, right? Not that it matters. We're in a bear market. But if we end up breaking this right here on Stacks, we pump all the way to the top here at about 40 cents. Yeah, Bitcoin is looking like it's about to roll over. MACD did cross up. What's your favorite short you're watching at the moment? Bitcoin. That is it. I don't even like shorting altcoins. Solana possibly. Solana possibly. It looks like Solana's about to dump. So maybe Solana too. But it would have to break this area. You know, Solana would probably be my favorite short because it's about to break support. XRP hasn't really done that yet. So if we break 95 on Sol, we're absolutely going to crash and burn. XRP, though, I don't know. XRP is weird to me. We're just ranging. At this point, I could see XRP pushing up to 167. I don't really have an answer on XRP. Typically, I'd be looking for a long on XRP, but I just don't like it. Obviously, it's going to drop. If Bitcoin drops, XRP is going to drop with it. Like this probably would be my short on XRP right here. The best advice I could give you guys and myself is the trend is your friend. Like I'm telling you guys right now, I've missed out on $100,000 this week just by going long. Not because I'm losing, but I'm not paying attention to the opportunity. Yeah, XRP, I don't like XRP. XRP is too much. XRP would have to break 152 at this point for me to even be into XRP. But it should drop for sure. XRP definitely should drop. Absolutely. All right, guys. So this is the London session. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time of your day to come on these lives where you could be with your families, or heck, you could be sleeping, right? I think we've been doing pretty good on the price predictions and stuff like that, where the price updates. The only thing is I should not be talking about a bullish scenario until we break the downtrend. And that's what I'm kind of realizing now. There is really no more bullish scenario until we break that 86K. Till we break that 86K, there's a range scenario, but there isn't really a bullish scenario, right? So we got this nice little rounded top right here on Bitcoin. We're coming down. I am going to teach you guys how to do prop firm trading very, very shortly. We're supposed to be doing a training this weekend. I'm going to move that training, guys, to the 21st because I want to promote it on ads and stuff like that, and I want to make it really big. So we're going to move the training to the 21st. And I'm actually going to do it in, it's going to be in a penthouse kind of location with some backdrop and stuff like that. I'm going to have a whiteboard. I'm actually going to go all out. So we're going to do it the 21st of February to give me more time and prepare for what I want to do. The 21st is a Saturday. So make sure you guys book your schedules for Saturday, guys, because we are going to do the most insane training seminar you have ever seen in the history of trading crypto stocks, commodities, and stuff like that. All right. I'm telling you guys right now, the most insane training you have ever seen is about to happen this month. So mark it in your calendars right now, February 21st. I'll give you guys the time in beastlimitless.com. But it is going to be absolutely insane, fam. Crazy, all right? Michael, you use Bitfunded. Awesome. So yeah, Bitcoin's obviously coming down here, guys. And you got to keep in mind right here, the 1 hour is completely overbought. We're looking very, very, very good. Four hours pushing down for another 3 hours here, right? So 72.2 in the shorter term, because now you're kind of playing out this no problem, no problem. Appreciate everybody for being on the live, guys. Hit that like button if you have not. That's good that I put my 86K or fake out. I did a thumbnail this morning, guys, and I was really battling myself thinking there's a possibility we pumped into New York. So 86 breakout or fake out. I'm lucky I put that in. I'm not usually wrong with the direction of the market. It's just really hard when we get a clear breakout and we're oversold on the 1 hour time frame to think we're going to dump down all the way to 72K. It makes sense in a bearish market, but it is what it is, right? So, all right. What else do we got here? Let's look at Tether DOM. Sorry for starting the live a bit later, guys. I had my streaming software not connecting to anything, and sometimes that happens. It is what it is. All right, Tether DOM pumping, skyrocketing, breaking out to about Well, we know we're most likely going to pump up to about 9%, but I would even be looking at 10% as well. And possibly 11% based on my fib here. We back tested the 5, 3, 2 running. Michael, which prop firm? I have a lot of prop firms. I'm going to show you guys. It isn't even which prop firm to use. It is the fact that, well, I will show you guys what I mean with the prop firm, but I'll definitely, yeah, I'll explain the prop firms when we do the training. You're not really focusing on which prop firm to use. You're focusing on the rules, right? So the rules are the main thing with the prop firm. Okay, so we're going to range into London. So if you're on a Bitcoin short, see, that's why I don't like XRP. If you're on a Bitcoin short, your stop loss is going to be pretty tight here. Stop loss 77.3. Okay, 77.3 stop loss. You have another rounded top. If we look at this trade, let's see if it's a 1 to 5. That is a 1 to 15 trade, guys. That is a 1 to 15 trade. This is the type of trades we want to make. And possibly a 1 to 33. Well, technically 1 to 8, but really you want to make a 1 to 5 trade. 1 to 5 trades or 1 to 3 is the only type of trades I'm taking. What was my entry on a Bitcoin short? 76.5. 76.5 was my entry. Again, this is London. So London might range in this area right here. But you can see the volume is very, very, very weak. I'm going to also show you guys how to trade the US 30 because this is one of the most profitable. The Dow is one of the most profitable things you could trade in the world because the volatility is just massive. All right. So it's going to get exciting on this channel. But yeah, like look at this breakout on the Dow right here. Zoids, thank you for commenting on the channel and the community. I appreciate you. Tried to long ETH and I got wrecked so bad. Again, the trend is your friend, right? I can only... It looks like the Dow Jones is probably going to... The US 30, right? CFD. Looks like this would be a good short. I'm going to teach you guys how to trade this because you can make a lot of money trading the US 30. Ton of money, right? Shout out to everybody on the live, guys. If you're new to the channel, let me know. I appreciate you guys. Where you're tuning in from. So my stop loss on this Bitcoin short will be 77,400. You know what? 77,500. I don't trust wicks. So 77,500 would be my stop loss. We're going to use the tight stop. We're not going high leverage, guys. We're not going crazy. The market is very oversold. And you can see London's just ranging, kind of dropping, ranging, kind of dropping, right? What else do we got here? It's just WLFI is trending right now. Wick should change. I use MetaTrader for the US 30. I don't use an exchange. MetaTrader is what I use. So WLFI might be a good short in this region right here. Definitely looking like this could be a good short if we get to the top. We got a little pennant on the 15-minute, but we're dropping. 4 hours completely overbought. I'd be looking at a short on WLFI around this 14-cent region. Maybe at the top, depending. Yeah, so all that's going to happen, guys, is London, we're going to range. Not much of anything, just waiting back and forth. You're going to get a 1 minute pump. You're going to get a 1 minute sell, a 1 minute pump, a 1 minute sell in this channel. And then I would expect New York to set a wicked sell ratio tomorrow. Or possibly even before New York, but 77.5 would be my stop loss, guys, at the moment. So that is what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. You know what I forgot to look at in this drop, and I've made a lot of money off of it? Aave. Wow. Aave at 120. Brutal. Right here. It was right here. Broken that conversion line. And I was originally in a short, guys, on Aave around 190, 200. I told myself I was going to hold that short. I never did. Never held the short on Aave. Aave is in a very nice rounded bottom, but again, we're in a downtrend market, so I can't even say that'll play out. Like, these rounded bottoms are looking so bullish. But then I show you guys the rounded bottom, and then I show you the 4-hour time frame. Look at that. Just absolutely brutally overbought. I see Aave coming all the way back down to 82 and kind of filling that wick. It looks like a lot of altcoins are going to go fill that wick on that flash crash. We never filled that wick, guys, on the flash crash. So all right, I appreciate everybody for coming on the live, guys. Hit that like button. Thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, we have a couple new people. Go to our app, guys, beastlimitless.com. It is completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. Come hang out in the pack chat. Wakeboard Wildman, how you doing? Nice seeing you on here. Shout out to all the people. This is a shorting market at the moment, guys. Shorting market on at the moment. And we are going to end the live off there, guys. We want to be at about an hour time frame. I do got to be up for the New York session. So just got to see what Bitcoin does, right? We range. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. With New York this overbought. I said that, though, and then I also said New York was oversold, and I thought we were possibly going to move up. We didn't, though. We just dumped off and formed bullish divergence, but if we held a little uptrend for at least the Tokyo session, I would say we continue back to this previous high, but we didn't. We finished a session with breaking trend. And then we double topped right here. 76.9 would have been a dynamite short. Dynamite. But I missed out. So 76.4 is the entry we're looking at. We do have a New York session live, guys, around 9 a.m. CST. Make sure you guys pop on that, see what happens tomorrow. And I bet I'll have a crazy thumbnail for you guys. Thank you so much for being here, even though we had a later start. Again, guys, if for whatever reason I'm live later, I can't get my software working. I stream to multiple platforms. Make sure you guys look at the update at beastlimitless.com. I'm also doing 3 lives a day, technically, or 2 lives a day. So, but things are looking okay there. All right. Hope you guys have a great night, guys. Join beastlimitless.com. Remember, 24-hour live Twitch trading. I'm not going to throw up the live Twitch trading right now. I'm going to wait to the New York session because nothing is happening, but I am in a short, right? So hope you guys have